This is Cal Hunter. No rain for 4 days. No well. No pipe. But water is condensing from the air right now. Slow, steady, pulled straight from atmosphere. This is not new technology. People have been doing versions of this for centuries. Fog nets in Chile, dew collectors in the Negev desert, stone structures in the Andes. The knowledge was never lost. It was just forgotten. Today, we bring it back for $12. But let me be clear about limitations right now. This does not work everywhere. It needs high humidity, 60% or higher. Coastal areas, mountain valleys, anywhere that sees morning fog or heavy dew. If you live in a dry desert climate, this will not work. If you live where humidity is low, you will collect almost nothing. This is not magic, it is physics. And physics has conditions. Here is how it works. The air around you right now is carrying water. Invisible, suspended, waiting. There is a temperature called the dew point. When air hits a surface at or below that temperature, the water vapor has nowhere to go but out. It condenses, turns liquid, starts to drip. You have seen this your entire life. Condensation on a cold glass on a summer day. Dew on grass every morning before the sun gets high. A spider's web doing something a $3,000 commercial water generator tries to replicate with a compressor and a fan. The atmosphere holds roughly 37 million billion gallons of fresh water at any given moment. More than every river on Earth combined, just floating there, invisible. Almost nobody is collecting it. Here is what you need. Shade cloth mesh, 6 by 6 feet. The kind found at any garden center or hardware store, around $5. The tighter the weave, the better. Closer to a window screen than a net. This mesh is doing all the real work. 4 sections of 1-inch PVC pipe to build your frame, $2. Maybe less if you find scrap. Zip ties. You already have some in a drawer somewhere. A plastic gutter section for the collection trough, $3 to $4 at any hardware store. A few bricks or rocks to set the angle. Total, $10 to $14 all in. If you have zip ties and bricks already, you are at $8. No special tools, no skills required. The hardware store will often cut PVC for free if you ask. The frame goes together first. 4 PVC sections into a rectangle, roughly 4 feet tall, 3 feet wide. You are not building furniture here. It just needs to hold its shape and take some wind without collapsing. Zip tie the corners if you do not want to deal with fittings. It holds fine. Now stretch the mesh over the frame. Pull it tight. You want 0 sag. Zip tie it every 6 inches along every edge. Think of how a drum is made. That same tension across the whole surface. Because sagging mesh means pooling water. And pooling water means slower runoff and less collection. Here is the one mistake almost everyone makes the first time. They lay it flat on the ground. Do not. Flat means the water pools on top, evaporates when the sun comes up, and you collect almost nothing. You want a tilt of 15 to 30 degrees, like leaning it against a wall at a shallow angle. That way, every droplet that forms on the mesh rolls downhill by itself, hits the bottom edge, and drips into the trough waiting below. Set the gutter section directly under that lower edge. Run a short length of tubing from the trough into a storage container if you want. But it is not required to see this work on the first night. Placement matters more than most people think. Face it into the wind, not sideways, not away from it. You want air moving through the mesh, not around it. Walk around your yard at dusk and feel which direction the breeze is coming from. That is where the front of the frame points. Get it off the ground at least 1 foot. Air closer to ground level is drier and warmer. then air slightly higher up. Keep it away from wherever the morning sun hits first. You want the dew to build up through the entire night and still be sitting in that trough when you come out to collect it, not burned off before you wake up. The routine is simple. Set it up before sunset. Come back at dawn. That is it. No monitoring. No electricity. No moving parts. It works while you sleep. In average conditions, moderate humidity, temperatures in the mid-50s, a 6x6 foot collector produces around half a liter per night, which sounds modest until you consider those are completely average conditions. Nothing special. In humid climates, coastal areas, river valleys, anywhere that sees morning fog roll in, people pull 1 liter, 2 liters, sometimes more from a setup this size in a single night. Scale the mesh to 10 by 10 feet. Now you are talking serious daily water production. From something you built on a Saturday afternoon with parts from 1 hardware store run. A family of 4 needs about 2 liters of drinking water per person per day. Scale this right in the right climate, and you are covering that entirely from air. No bills, no infrastructure, no asking anyone's permission. Atmospheric water is actually quite clean to start with. It has not touched the ground, has not run through soil or pipes. So it skips most of what makes surface water complicated. Bacteria, agricultural runoff, sediment. But it can pick up particulates from the mesh over time, or trace pollutants if you are building this in an urban area near traffic. The fix costs $3 and takes 5 minutes. Cut the bottom off a plastic bottle. Flip it upside down so the neck points down. Layer from bottom to top, cotton. Then activated charcoal from any aquarium store. Then fine sand. Then cotton again at the top. Pour your collected water in. Let it drip out the neck into a clean container. That is your filter. If you want to be completely certain, boil it. Or add 1 drop of plain, unscented bleach per liter. Wait 30 minutes. As clean as treated tap water. Probably cleaner, depending on where you live. This works in the right conditions, with the right setup. It is not magic. It is physics. And physics has requirements. High humidity, air movement, proper angle. Meet those conditions, and you are pulling fresh water from nothing. Fail those conditions, and you are wasting time and $12. Know your climate before you build. This is Cal Hunter. Grid Zero.